This video here is picking up where the vocoder video left off. There will be a link to it, and what we're going to be talking about now is actually Melodyne. We're going to do Melodyne and Autotune together. And so Melodyne and Autotune are both pitch correction software. Autotune came first. Autotune is more famous in the kind of pop culture mainstream because there was things like Autotune the News, there was T-Pain, and you know the word Autotune just got put into the kind of mainstream pop culture vocabulary, whereas Melodyne did not. Autotune has a very distinctive sound to it that you hear on all pop records. And what it does is it locks people into exactly the right pitch. And to really use it effectively, you either have to sing really, really well, or you have to do what we just did with the MIDI stuff to lock people into the right note. Autotune, I used to think that Autotune and Melodyne would just be complete magic if you're not a good singer. Like, I am not a good singer, and I thought that Melodyne and Autotune could totally help me, and it can to a point, but you still need to be a pretty good singer to really deliver the goods, which I am not a good singer, so I could not deliver those goods. So it's not like, don't think that if you're a bad singer, it will make you a good singer. What these things will do is if you're a good singer or an okay singer, it'll level you up. Like if you're an okay singer, it'll turn you into a good singer. If you're a good singer, it'll turn you into a better singer. Like pitch wise, but not delivery wise. It only helps with the pitch. It's not going to make you a better, like more emotion or something like that. I think that would be obvious, but maybe it's not. So what we're going to do, the way we do Autotune or Melodyne is we go back over here. We put it in the beginning of everything, okay? So the way this works is you've got your vocal, your audio here, and then you have like basically this kind of effects chain, right? You have an EQ before the Melodyne, and then you put your pitch correction software, whether it's Melodyne or Autotune, doesn't really matter. I mean, for this like diagram. Then you have a compressor, then you have an EQ. Don't put the compressor and the EQ before it. You don't want the perfect sound going into it, in my opinion. You just want to be able to clean it up a little bit. The reason why is because if you're compressing things a lot, depending on how you're using the compression, I think it's gonna like pick up more of the inconsistencies of stuff. So I recommend putting your pitch correction software before your first compressor. Other people might argue with me about that, and that's fine. But this is how I would do it. So I would go in here and I'd go into my EQ, and we don't have anything on this because we really didn't touch his voice at all with the rough mix. That's okay, we can do it right now. And I'm just gonna go over here and I'm gonna put this at like 100 hertz and like a less of a band here. And let's go ahead and solo this out. And
well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
Okay, you can hear how he's kind of bending his voice all over the place. This is all going to go away once we use Autotune. So let's start. Actually, let's start with Melodyne. Let's do Melodyne first, and then we'll come back to Autotune. So in here, Melodyne is under Ceremony, and I just got the new version of Melodyne, Melodyne 5, which has some really cool features in it that I do not know how to use. I know that it has the features, and I'm very excited to use the features, but I do not know how to use those features yet, like things like taking out the sibilants and the breaths and stuff like that. There's some really cool things like that, but I haven't used them yet. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to change this to F major because I know we are in the key of F major. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer it into the plugin, the audio into the plugin, because this plugin sits as like it needs the audio to come into the plugin in order to use it. So I'm going to hit this transfer button right here, and that's going to record the audio in. You have to do this in real time. There's no other real way to do this. So I'm going to hit the transfer button, and I'm going to hit play.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
I'm going to record the second one too.
But I thought I'd lose you. I may amuse you. Oh.
Cool, I'm going to stop it there. And now Melodyne is going to check it out and go, this is what this person's doing. Okay, cool. So I'm going to move it back over here. Why are you taking so long? Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Come on. Come on, Melodyne. Actually, I haven't tested Melodyne out on my M1 Mac yet, so it might be that it's not a very happy camper with it. It's going really slow for some reason. Come on, I know all this stuff. Okay, good. Okay, cool. All right, so we got this Melodyne in here. I'm going to zoom in on it like this. Let's make this screen really big because there's no reason not to. There we go. Cool. And I'm going to zoom in on this part just using the little thing like this. Go over here. And I'm also going to zoom in on this part as well. So we have nice big blobs to work with here. Great. Looking good. Cool. Now, if I just listen to this.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
Okay, it sounds exactly the same so far. We haven't done anything to it. And you can see he's around the ballparks of things. So this thing thinks we are in the key of E flat minor. Interesting. Maybe my pitch thing was off. I don't know though. First of all, ignore the bar signs up here. I don't even know how to turn these off. Is there a way to turn the grid off? Oh, here we go. Time grid, active, deactivate. There we go. No more time grid. Show sound editor, track list. Yeah, I don't think there's any way to deactivate that. I mean, to turn it off so we don't see it at all. But basically, because I haven't done, it's not set to a click track. So it's going to cause problems with, not problems with it if I try to do like timing stuff with this. So in here, we can highlight all of these. Let's just highlight all these and put this, I want to put this back to, okay, whatever. And what we can do is we can go over here and we can go to pitch center and I can change it. If I want to lock these in, I can lock these in like this. Boom. Like that. Let's listen to that, what that sounds like.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
Right, and it sounds pretty good. You can hear a little bit of things going on here. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and zoom in. I'm going to right click, get my zoom tool. Like this. There we go. And I'm going to cut this up, note separation here. I'm going to cut this stuff up. So we had this note kind of separated out into sections here. There we go. And let's zoom back out again. Out. Zoom out. There we go. Cool. And so you can see it kind of pulls some stuff away like this. I'm very surprised that it's like in the key of C because I was playing... well... I know why I did that. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's still in the key of... It still looks like it's in the key of... There's nothing that's not in the key of F here. Come back to F. Come on. Come back. Let's come back. Okay. So now...
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you.
Okay, let's put this one back up. There we go.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Gee.
There we go. I'm going to lock these in a little bit more here. Because what happened was when I did this, it kind of moved everything around. Let's go ahead and let's actually go back and undo that. Here, let's see if we can undo a few things here. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. Yeah. Whoops. Wait, back up. There we go. Okay, cool. So what I did in the beginning was I just highlighted everything and just locked it in, right? Which is, it's, you know, it moves stuff down, moves stuff up. But you can see it kind of move things into some places where it might not be okay. So this is not like, you got to be careful if you're doing stuff like this because it's going to move things around in such a way that it might not work out. So let's take a step back and just look at what we're dealing with here. We got a couple things. We got the blob, and the blob is what the program thinks is the note center. But that's like the main part of the note. Then we got this line traveling through the note, and this line traveling through the note is the actual like frequencies that are going on. So with this stuff here, we can see it's kind of like he's kind of all over the place. He's like bending up and bending around a lot on this. So that's what's really happening. And so the program is trying to figure out like where he's actually going with this. So what we could do is we can take these and we can lock them into place even better with our tools down here. We can use the tools here. Let's just go through and take a look at what these tools are. What I do is I right click to grab these tools here, but we got our main tool, which is you can just click and, you know, highlight things, stuff like that. You got the scroll tool for moving around, and you got the zoom tool here for zooming in and out, which is, oh, I just messed it up. Hold on, let me go back over here. Then you've got your pitch tool, and the pitch tool here has three things. It's got the main pitch, you got the pitch modulation, and you got your pitch drift. The drift is the line through, so if I wanted to adjust that, I could adjust that, and I can also use the pitch modulation, which is also to do with that line through. So I can like flatten it out like that, which is going to sound super unnatural. And then I can go over here and take the pitch drift, the pitch tool, and I can move these around. Right? When I move them around, if I hold down Option, I can actually drag it, like I can like bend it around. Right? And it sounds super weird when you do all that stuff, but that's kind of how we can do this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my pointer tool here, select all, and I'm gonna lock them into place a little bit more, just for speed. And then I'm gonna go through and then move a few of these around. There we go. Let's actually do this. Let's separate these out a little bit. I feel like if we separate them, we'll get some other notes out of them. Yeah. Cool. Because you can see it's like bending all over the place, right? And I don't know if the way I use this is the way you're technically supposed to use it like this. It's just the way that I do use it. So there are definitely better users of Melodyne out there than me.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
There we go.
But I thought I'd lose you.
Let's separate this one out and see what notes come out of it. Oh, there we go. So you see, hold on, let's undo that a couple times. So here, if I double click this, see what happened there? And this is like a real thing. It's like doing auto tuning and melodyning is not as easy as you want it to be. I guarantee it. Because what happens is the computer program looks at this and it just sees a B flat, right? But the line goes way up here. So if I separate it by double clicking right here, you can see, oh, okay, now there's a separate note in there. It's actually the C that he doesn't quite reach. Okay, and we could spread this one out too, probably. Maybe not as much. Okay. Okay. Okay, move this. And then I'm going to split this one. You see the line is like creeping way up like that? Well, I'm going to go ahead and cut that out and let that be a separate note. Let's also separate this one too and see what happens. Okay, a little bit, right? And then move this one up. Okay, and it's all over the place because he's like, you know, he's got a cool sound, but it's like pitch wise, right? He's like all over the place here, which is, I mean, it's not bad. It sounds really cool and sounds good, but Melodyne's just like, what is going on here?
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa, but I thought I'd lose you. I may amuse you. Oh.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we got this here. So let's listen to it one more time.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
Put that back up. Somehow that volume turned
But
down.
I thought I'd lose you.
Oh, I know.
I may amuse you. Oh.
Cool. All right. Great. Okay. So it sounds good. It's sounding pretty good here. It still sounds pretty natural, even though we've like tuned up a couple of these notes. This is the good thing about Melodyne. Melodyne, even after you've done some tuning stuff, it still retains its natural vibe, its natural feel. And so you can definitely keep that stuff in there with Melodyne really, really well. Like I said, there's a bunch of extra stuff in here that I don't really know how to use with Melodyne 5. But these are the basics. There's all these things here, like this stuff here, which is, I think, like the sibilants and things like that. So if we were to take all these and hit Command A and turn that sibilance down, yeah, see, it's taking that stuff out. Let's just hear what that sounds like.
I should have kissed you,
Sounds weird.
not dismissed you. Whoa.
Put that back at like -10.
But I thought I'd lose you. I may amuse you. Oh.
It's kind of cool that it does that, though. It's like, it's super
I
interesting.
should have kissed you,
Yeah.
not dismissed you.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's really cool. Melodyne. Awesome. This version of Melodyne came out a little while ago, but I wasn't doing a whole lot of vocal stuff at the time, so I didn't get it right then. Now I'm starting to do more vocal stuff again, so I picked up the update, and it's, yeah, I mean, Melodyne's awesome. Melodyne's awesome. So if you wanted to auto-tune this to make it sound more auto-tuney, what people do is they usually put Melodyne first to clean it up like this, to get things locked into the right scale, and kind of do some housekeeping with this program before they throw it into Autotune. So let's just go through and make sure. It looks like all the scales, everything's good here. We're definitely, as far as I'm concerned, in the key of F major and not E flat minor. So you got to be a little bit aware about this. One of the other things that really helps with Autotune and Melodyne and all these things is that you do understand some music theory. These programs can definitely help you with like finding notes and stuff like that, but with instruments it's going to work better than with vocals, because vocals can slide all over the place. Instruments a little bit more, they kind of hit the notes and stuff more directly than vocals do, depending on how good the vocalist is. And also depending on how much of the song you give it to work with, it may or may not be able to see what the key is. So in this case, I just know what key it is because I played it with the piano. If I hadn't done that, I would have thought like, oh, okay, E flat minor, but it doesn't sound super, super dark. But I don't know, maybe it is E flat minor, and I'm just tripping. All right, so what we're gonna do here is let's throw on some auto tune after Melodyne here, and just get it kind of auto tuney sounding, just for my own personal enjoyment. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna use auto tune from UAD, Universal Audio, because I don't actually have regular auto tune on my computer. So I can only use the UAD versions on it. There's two of them here. There's real-time advanced, real-time access, and then this real-time down here. Let's start with the real-time advanced one. And this is going to have quite a few things we can mess around with. Definitely overkill in some respects, but where is it? Come on. There we are. Hello, you. So first of all, we're going to put it in the right key. Key of F, and as far as I'm concerned, what's the right key? F major. Boom, and we're gonna call it a alto tenor, because that's the kind of voice. And I'm gonna put it in classic mode here. And the things we need to mess with, if we wanted to get that kind of auto tune feel, we want to turn the retune speed up all the way, super fast. And that's it. Oh, tracking. All the way up, and we don't need the advanced button right here. We put it in the right key, so it's gonna do this stuff automatically. Yeah, we should be good. Okay, cool. So let's check this out and see what it sounds like.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa,
There we go.
but I thought I'd lose you. I may amuse you. Oh.
Okay, so you can hear what it's doing there. It's, for the most part, it sounds auto-tuny, which, if that's what you're going for, that's good. There's a couple notes in here that were not okay. Over here towards in the second time. I think it was over here.
But I thought I'd lose you.
Let's see here. What are we? Let's see. Separate this one out. Hold on. Let's zoom in on this one here. Come on. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Zoom in on this bad boy here. There we go. Okay, cool.
Lose you, I may amuse you. Oh.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and you can hear there's a lot of vibrato going on, so we could even like tamper down some of that vibrato by going in here. There we go.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa. But I thought I'd lose you. I may amuse you. Oh.
Yeah, so you can hear the
Okay.
Sorry, it's like
Sparkling.
cool. So you can hear the autotune is that flip between the notes. If I bypass the autotune here, let's listen to it.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
Right? It still sounds fairly natural-ish. If I put the autotune on, listen to the flip between the notes. That's what we're really listening for here.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
You hear how it's like flipping between notes more?
But I thought I'd lose you. I may amuse you. Oh.
Right, so that's the flip between notes is the auto-tune, kind of classic auto-tune type of sound. You can this is also auto-tune real time. There's different versions of auto-tune now. There's a version that's actually more like Melodyne where you actually record it in and you can do stuff in there. So just keep aware I'm just showing you like one version of this. Now let's take a look at over here. Let's go to one of these other versions here. Let's do the real-time access and see what that looks like. It's going to have a lot less things to do. There we go. Here's real-time access. Let's put it in the right key. And the key makes a big difference if you have the right key. It really helps a lot if you know the key. We're going to turn the humanize off. We're going to have the retune speed set to max. There we go. Cool. Fastest. Let's listen to this one. Let's listen to this one. We might be running into...
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
There you go. Yeah.
But I thought I'd lose you. I may amuse you. Oh.
Okay, cool. So if we turn this down, if we want it to sound more human, we can turn this down to slow or medium. Let's see what this does.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
Right, it's not quite as obvious.
I thought I'd lose you. I may amuse you. Oh.
Right, it's not quite as obvious that you're using autotune with it slowed down, with the retune speed slowed down.
Well, I should have kissed you.
Hold on. You turn off. There we go.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa. But I thought I'd lose you. I may amuse you. Oh, oh.
Right, you can still hear the flippiness in there. And then there's one more version in here that we can see of what's different about this one. I'm not really sure what this one is, the difference is going to be with this Autotune real time here. This might be an older version. Oh yeah, this is definitely like this is the older version. This is what it used to look like. So we're not even going to worry about this. This is going to be more that classic sound. Now you may have noticed that I did put I turned classic on before, and that was to get that kind of classic auto-tuney type of sound. If you don't want that sound, you can turn it off. Let's go ahead and turn it off and see. Let's put it back into real-time advanced here. And all these like controls and stuff that we're seeing in this version of it, you can actually access all of them. It's just they just changed the look of it really. And you can click the advanced button and it does show you a whole bunch of extra stuff in there. Okay, so here, let's do this. Let's do a set major. Let's turn on MIDI actually, and let's get the MIDI. Let's see here, MIDI target notes. Is that? Let's see, and then let's go over here to this one and change it to the auto tune. There we go. Solo it out, solo this out. Yeah, cool. So we can have it so it targets the notes. Okay, let's listen and see what this sounds like. If it does it right.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you.
Let's put this down an octave. That's super funny. Actually, I can just do it over here. So option 0, get into my transpose over here, put it down an octave. -1. Boom.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
Right, there we go. And you can hear I would need
I
to.
thought I'd lose you. I may amuse you. Oh.
Yeah, it's like playing it a little bit, So I may have played it wrong in the beginning. I don't know, whatever. This is basically how you can do this, though. Obviously, you'd want to take some more time to get the pitches set correctly, but you can use MIDI for this to target the notes, to play the correct notes, to force it into correct notes, which is going to really lock it in hard. And this is what people do. They kind of use Autotune as like a vocoder thing. Now, we are stacking Autotune on top of Melodyne, which is something that I've seen people do in studios. Let's take out the Melodyne completely. I'm going to bypass this Melodyne. Let's bypass the Autotune. Here's what it sounds like without anything.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa. But I thought I'd lose you. I may amuse you. Oh.
Right? So that's what it sounds like. Let's put the Autotune back on. Let's put the Autotune on by itself without anything, without any Melodyne before it. And so you can hear Autotune just by itself, what it's going to do to the voice as it sits right now. Okay, so I'm going to set my key. I'm going to turn off the MIDI stuff here. I'm going to mute this MIDI thing here. Let's put the key back. Input type is alto tenor. Key is F major. And we'll try E flat minor just to see what that does too. But here, let's listen to this.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
You can hear it's like flipping a couple.
But I thought I'd lose you. I may amuse you. Oh.
Right? So it locks a couple in. Let's change this tracking speed here. Adjust to best track your audio. Turn that up all the way. Let's turn the retune speed up all the way, just so we can get that kind of not natural sound. I'm going to turn off the advanced view. I don't need the advanced view.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
Right? And we turn this down. So it's like slower.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
See how it sounds more natural?
But I thought I'd lose you. I may amuse you. Oh.
Yeah, and that sounds good. It sounds more natural with the retune speed set a lot less. You really don't like, only if you want that kind of T-Pain effect are you really going to set this retune speed very, very quickly. But if you want that T-Pain effect, you also want to push this classic button here, because that's what that classic button really is for getting that kind of T-Pain-y type of sound. It's like like the more robot-y type of sound. 808s and heartbreaks, you know, from Kanye, all that stuff. So we could turn this flex tune up a little bit too. Kind of mess with that to make it more kind of like leave in some of the bendy stuff in there.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
Right? Cool. So yeah, this auto-tune thing, it's you know, this is basically the basics of how you do it. Now, once you put that back with the Melodyne, let's turn that Melodyne back on. Get the Melodyne going.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
You can hear we're getting some of the flippiness back in there. It's because I've actually, a few of these, I kind of tuned them like a bit too hard, right? So, you know, you want to be a little bit careful. I did it over the top so y'all could hear what it's doing. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you one more thing here with Melodyne that's pretty cool. I've got the original, the vocal part in here. Let's turn off, I'm going to turn off this auto-tune here. And one of the things that's neat for Melodyne that's really, really useful, and you could do this like more like the non-real-time versions of auto-tune as well, is that we can use this to create some harmonies. So let's go in here.
Well, I should have kissed you.
You can hear it's like flanging hard. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and open up my Melodyne here, and let's create some harmonies out of this. Let me get my keyboard up and running here, because I need to hear these things. And so, no judgment, please. Don't judge me on how I do this. Let's solo this bad boy out. Okay, so let's try that. Let's just put that on a C there. And let's see what this sounds like. Let's see if we can get this sounding pretty good. This is a little bit tricky here because we're moving things around quite a bit. We're going to move it up to the C. And we're going to just move everything up to the C. And put it up there. And see what this sounds like. Blech. Let's see what this sounds like. Let's hear.
Well, I should have kissed you.
Whoops, whoa, turn you. Hey, why are you playing? Stop playing. You, no. There we go.
Well, I should have kissed you.
Yeah, here, let's do this. Put this right here. Yeah. Let's see if we can get this up there.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed.
Yeah, there we go. Doesn't sound that bad. Just the whole like C. See what that sounds like.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
All right, cool.
Whoa. Whoa.
keep this right there. And I'm like, you know, I'm putting these like far away from the original voice. And maybe we'll tone some of these down, like turn them down so it just don't get much at all. I'm not even sure what this part right here is going to sound like at all. Why are you down there? Get out of here. Get out of here. Come on. Okay. So. Alright, we're going to have to listen to that for sure.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
Alright, cool. That doesn't sound too bad. Now, one thing we can do with this, which is pretty cool, is I'm going to take all of these. You miss... Sorry, I missed what you said there, Decree 808. Yeah, it's a great album. And yeah, we do miss that Kanye, don't we? That was pre-rants Kanye. All right, so let's go over here. We're going to grab the formant tool. Now, a formant is basically... you know how different people have a different sound. They have like, you know, everybody's got like a different shape of your throat in here and your vocal cords. Basically, all of our voice comes from these little things that are inside our throat, right? And the shape of our mouth, the shape of our throat, the shape of that little pipe that's in there changes how we sound. Some people have really deep voices and some people have really high voices. Some people are super skinny like me and they've got, you know, really deep voices and they sound like guys in like the movie guy. And then other people are bigger people and they have really tiny voices. It's not about the size of your body. It's about the size of what's going on in here. So everybody's got a different voice, right? And that comes from your throat and the physical, you know, attributes here. What they call this for music stuff is formants. And formants are how we kind of scientifically change that. So what you can do is up here is your formant changer. That's your formant tool. So I can click on this. And now I can take all these sounds and I can turn them. I can make them deeper. So if we listen to this,
well, I should have kissed you,
right, or higher. Let's mute the other track there so we can just hear that one for a second.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
Right, or we can turn it down like this.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
Right, and you can hear it's tricky to make it, to force it to, you know, sound great, but that's okay. We don't need it to sound perfect by itself because nobody's ever going to listen to it by itself. But this is the formant thing here. You know, do some really neat stuff with that and change the voice up quite a bit. I'm going to leave it back to its original state how it was. And what we can do in order to really kind of trick people out here is let's just mute all these and just turn this down and put some reverb on it, maybe even a filter on it or something like that. Let's put a filter on here. So it's just a hint of a harmony back there. Let's use the EQ. Roll off some of those high frequencies. Actually, we don't need this EQ. Let's use the one band EQ. Roll off some of those high frequencies there. There we go. Change this thing there, right there. Okay, cool. So now let's also put some extra. Let's send it over to the reverb. Extra. Cool. Just make sure it's down in the mix. So now let's listen.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
Right, and we'll just, so it's just back there. It's still a little bit robot-y sounding, I guess, but you know.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
Right? I think that if you didn't know that we just done all this work to it, you wouldn't know. Like, I don't think you would, because people aren't expecting a Melodyne. You know, it's like magicians can do things that, you know, for some magicians it's like obvious. Like other magicians, maybe it's obvious what they did, but the crowd is completely fooled. And what you got to remember is that you are a magician here. Your job is to fool the crowd, make it sound really good so it fools the crowd, but other people who know how you did it would know how you did it. But the point really is that the audience is satisfied, right? So with this here, I'm just...
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you.
I want that high note to be a little bit louder. I like that little F up top there. We go here to the amplitude tool. Where are we? There we go.
Well, I should have kissed you.
There we go.
Not dismissed you. Whoa.
Cool. Yeah.
But
yeah, and that sounds pretty good, I think.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
Yeah, it's just like a nice little harmony bit that's in there. And you could obviously do more harmony stuff with it. Again, this really depends on how much music theory do you know, how good are you with harmonies and stuff like that. This isn't really talking to people who are just starting off with all this. I'm just kind of showing you what you can do, what you can get to eventually with this stuff. Okay. One more thing that I do want to point out is that Melodyne, remember I said in the beginning, we're actually recording the audio into Melodyne, right? Well, if we go look at our notes over here, we are actually recording, the audio is not playing off the track. Where does it say that? Yeah, right here. Melodyne records the audio into itself, so it is no longer being played from your DAW. So if I go in here and I mute this audio right here, hit Command M to mute, or if I delete it entirely, it's still...
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
Right? It's still there because it's actually living inside of Melodyne. It's not living in the track. So what we could do is we can actually, here, let's do this. We can commit up to Melodyne right here because we want to make sure that nothing's going to happen. I have had an instance where I did some Melodyne stuff and I shut the session down. And this is a long time ago, so they probably fixed whatever had happened that day. But I shut the session down, and when I went to open it back up, the Melodyne stuff was gone. It had gotten somehow, I had done something or something had happened, and it was just gone. So my advice is whenever you're done doing your Melodyning, right click and go commit up to this insert. We talked about that the other day. Commit up to this insert and all that good stuff. Yep, cool. Boom. And let it do its thing. It's going to render it down up to the Melodyne, so that EQ is going to be in there because the EQ is actually recorded in. And there we go. So now we've got this in here. This Melodyne vocal is right here. And it no longer has a Melodyne on it. Wait, why didn't it put it on the track? Oh, you know why? Because it didn't have... Right, hold on. Before you do that, don't delete this because now Pro Tools gets confused if you delete that. So here, hold on a second. There we go. Okay, so now Pro Tools should not be confused anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this last part out though because. Okay, so now I'm gonna commit it. My computer is not happy about all this stuff that I'm trying to do right now. It's got like programs open, all this stuff is going on because I'm, teaching and taking role and stuff and all that things. So it's probably, it looks like my video is like a little bit stuttering here, which is not great, but whatever. All right, so now you can see, there we go. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Oh, and it got all this. Okay, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't cut out this other stuff. So. There you go. But this is Melodyne. This is the Melodyne audio. Here, let's listen to it.
Well, I should have kissed you, not dismissed you. Whoa.
Cool. All right. Awesome. I think that's the end of Melodyne and Autotune. I mean, it's just a brief overview of stuff today. It's not, it's not like now you're like a complete expert with this. You still have to go off and mess around with it and do that.